Hello silver friends, this is Joli from QuickSilverHair, and today I'm going to show you and demonstrate the Laifen Swift Hair Dryer. So many of you have emailed me, messaged me, and asked me about this dryer. And when I first heard about it, I looked into it for the silver sister that asked me about it, and I gave her my thoughts and opinions based on what was available information-wise on their website, which is very good. They have very detailed information. And I gave her my approval on it just based on that and said, give it a try. Let me know what you think. And then more and more of you started asking about it. So I decided I would buy it and give it a good review. Before we get started, I wanted to let you know this is not a sponsored post. I did purchase the dryer myself so that I could give you a fully honest review. So I purchased the dryer for $169. I used another influencer's link and discount code, and I also purchased it while it was on sale, and it was a combined discount. So I paid $169 for the basic Swift with the concentrator nozzle, and then I ordered the diffuser separately. I would highly suggest that you do not do that because the diffuser came separately and it was shipped from China, and it took several weeks before I got it. So I had the dryer before I got the diffuser, and I had to use my Black Orchid as I was first trying to start out with it. I'll get into that in just a second because I have some thoughts on using it with the Black Orchid after I did that. Again, I paid $169 for all three of these pieces, and I felt like that was a pretty decent deal given the tech that's in this machine and how well it works. All right, let's get into the tech specs. The cord is 5 foot 9 inches long, which I find to be incredibly too short. So Laifen, if you are listening, we need a longer cord. It does have this nice little silicone wrap on it for travel and storage, which I think is great. It's always nice to have the wrap right there. For travel, the cord's great. It's a perfect size for travel, but I don't prefer it for my normal drying. I am 5'7", and a 5'9" cord is just barely long enough. And while I'm using it at my vanity with the outlet at the top of the vanity, I can see where, if I'm traveling or I'm at somebody else's house or whatever, how it could become a challenge very quickly of me not having enough cord. So I can see that it would have to be, an extension cord added to it, and I'm sure a stylist is probably thinking the same thing I am, that this cord is very short. It also has this pack on it, which I'm sure is, like a power serger or something to keep it from overheating and blowing an outlet or whatever. But so that, you lose about this much of the cord because this is so heavy it falls onto the counter. So it even kind of makes it a little bit shorter. So the cord, in my opinion, it is small and lightweight. It weighs less than a pound, so it is very nice. It's very balanced. It does have the magnetic air filter cover, and I will note that the air filter is not pulling your hair, so while you're using it, your hair does not go into the filter like a traditional blow dryer. I think that has to do with the brushless motor, which is 110,000 RPMs, which is the same as the Dyson. It is designed with low noise tech in it, so it blows on the highest speed. It is blowing at 59 decibels. That is what their website says. I tried to measure that myself with a decibel meter on my phone, and I just wasn't getting a very accurate reading, so I'm really not sure if that's 100% or not, but we have nothing else to go on. So 59 decibels is what they say on the website. Okay, so let's get into speed and heat settings. It is very powerful. I will say I wish it did have a lower blow speed on it, because it only has 2 blower speeds, which is medium and high. And then it has 4 temperatures, which is room temperature, medium, high, and an oscillating temperature, which auto changes. And I have quickly found out that that was my favorite setting, because when I blow dry my hair, I blow dry it on low and medium, and use the cool shot. It does not have a cool shot button. However, you can flip it right out to the room temperature from the oscillating temperature. So it's kind of interesting. It's something you have to kind of learn to play with, but I quickly, like I said, found out that I loved the oscillating setting. But let me show you, one, let you listen to the sound of it, and to show you how strong and powerful the speeds are, and show you the ring around here tells you what temperature it is, with blue on room temperature, yellow on medium, red on high, and then it has an oscillating color that changes with the oscillating temperature setting. But watch when I turn from medium speed to high speed, how much it pushes back. I find it very fascinating that it is so powerful. So this is on medium. And then the high. And you can see, high is very high. All right, so then it has the temperature settings. Let me demonstrate that. And then it has magnetic attachments, which I love that nice, satisfying magnetic click. Anybody else feel that way? Nice little click, and then it rotates, so that's great. And the diffuser. Low heat is room temperature. Medium heat, they say, is 120 degrees. However, using my infrared thermometer, I clocked it at 168 degrees. And then high, they say on their website, is 176 degrees. And I clocked it, it tapped out at 250 degrees with my infrared thermometer. So I don't know what the variable there is, what the differences is, and how they're measuring the temperature versus how I'm measuring the temperature. But even at 250 at the highest setting, and then it backs off with its temperature regulation system, which regulates the temperature 100 times per second, which is really good. That's a lot of stop gaps, right? You're going to stop it from getting way too hot pretty quickly. So I don't find that 250 to be too big a deal. However, I've never used it on high. I don't need to use it on high. And I would highly suggest, if you do have naturally silver hair that is in the lighter ranges, you avoid it on high as well. If you have a coarser hair type and you have darker hair, you may be able to get away with using the temperature at high and not be bothered by that. It also has negative ion technology to help fight frizz and create shine. And I have to say, that's a pretty good claim, and I think it actually does what it says it does, because my hair seems to be shinier. I don't seem to get as much frizz, and the dry time, as they're saying it's the fastest dry time dryer made, and I don't know if that's true or not, but my dry time has been reduced to 15 minutes, and that for me is incredible. It could take, even with my old dryer and the Black Orchid, 30 minutes sometimes to dry my hair, and I think I kind of figured out what that was about. So let's get into the diffuser. I'm not typically a big fan of this style diffuser, simply because it is more designed for, I think, shorter hair types and for hover diffusing, which is when you diffuse like this, where you're just kind of going around the outer canopy of the hair, whereas with the Black Orchid, you can scoop the hair up into the bowl, which is what I typically like to do. And you can see how my hair kind of pools into curls inside this bowl because it's so deep. And I also used this diffuser to get root lift, so I would come in and go like this to get my roots up. You can't really do that with this. I mean, there's just no, the teeth aren't long enough to create that lift. So I was a little disappointed with the diffuser. However, because I didn't have the diffuser when it first got here, I did connect it to the Snozzle Pro and the smoothing attachment, which it goes in there just fine. It works fine. However, as it warms up, it tends to fall off of here. So you'll be drying and all of a sudden the black orchid falls off. The other thing is it's creating quite a stress point here. So it just wants to come off just by barely moving it. I didn't find that I liked using the black orchid with it that much, and it did increase the dry time. And I think I understand why. So let's take a look at that. So the Laifen diffuser has a metal plate in it. You can see it shining in there. That metal plate goes across the whole interior of the diffuser, and I think that that helps with creating a more even heat distribution throughout the diffuser because that plate gets warm. And actually when you're drying your hair with it, you can feel this part of the diffuser getting warm from that plate. The Black Orchid diffuser has no plate in it. It is hollow. You can hear there's nothing in there. And what I noticed when I used this and this, you know, side by side was that I was getting a better heat distribution and a better dry time with this technology. So I can see what they're doing here, but it would be really great if they found a way to incorporate that into a diffuser that is a larger bowl style diffuser for those of us with really long hair, because I think this works a lot better for long hair. However, I have created a modification because I'm like that. So I wanted to continue using this, and there is another influencer on YouTube. Her name is Wavy Curly Alley, and I will link her information down below. But she created a technique called Hammock Diffusing, and I have done this before I got the Black Orchid actually, and I really liked doing it. So I started using the Laifen. I put it on, I got just a little stand, and I put it on the stand and just allow the air to hit my hair in a hammock diffusing type thing. Basically, I decided that what if, because I like this bowl, right? I like the way the bowl is lifting the hair. If I just got one of my kitchen bowls and I laid a microfiber towel in it and I kind of plopped my hair into this bowl and then turn the dryer on the stand, and then I stand there and I diffuse like this for 5 minutes, and it's incredible. These are my results. This is what's happening. So I'll show you that little clip. Diffuse here first, and then I do this little plop method that you just saw with my hair in the microfiber and the bowl. I do that for 5 minutes. Overall dry time is about 15 minutes, so really it's not that big a deal. It's pretty quick. All right, let's get into the cons. I've kind of discussed those a little bit throughout, but I'll go over them again. The cord, it is way too short. I think it should be longer. And, you know, I get why they made it the length that they did, because they're trying to make an overall great dryer for travel and home use. And, you know, I see the point, but I think we could afford a couple more feet. No low speed. That was a little bothersome to me because I do like using my dryer on low speed. However, the speeds that are coming out of it are not so high that it's just blasting your hair with frizz, especially with the diffuser on there. So overall, that's not a big deal. It's just something to get used to if you've had a lower speed dryer that had low speed on it. And again, the diffuser. I would love the tech in the Laifen diffuser to be in a diffuser bowl like this that's large and deep with nice long teeth on it. Pros, I like the magnetic attachments. I think that's really cool. It's really easy to switch them out. And you know, you'd think that they'd come off really easy while you're using them, and they don't. They stay on there nice and tight. The air filter, once again, I mentioned that earlier. I like that it's easy to clean and it's magnetic also, and it does not grab your hair while you're using it. If you have ever had your hair go into the back end of the blower dryer, you know why that is important. The coolest feature, of course, that I am in love with is that oscillating feature. I think that was genius to do that because I spend most of my dryer time going between cool shot, low, and medium, so I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to mess with the controls. I can set it and forget it. Again, dry time is better at 15 minutes. The price is also great. I think that's an extra bonus points there. It is slightly lower than the Shark version of their hair dryer. It is way lower than Dyson, since Dyson is between $400 and $500 for their hair dryer. So if you're looking for a dupe for the Dyson, this is it. And I think that it's probably a little less damaging than the Dyson. The question on everybody's mind is, does it get my stamp of approval for SilverHair Safe? Yes, it absolutely does. And I was so impressed by this dryer that I became an affiliate, and down below in the description box is my affiliate link plus 10% off if you use my link or my code. So I hope you enjoy this dryer. If you get it, if you do, please let me know because I would love to hear your thoughts on it. As always, I have linked everything that I have discussed in this video in the description box below. Also in the description box is a link to my email sign-up form. I highly suggest you do this. This is the best way for me to communicate with you. You get all of the notifications for new products, sales, promotions, blogs, videos, etc. from QuickSilverHair and myself. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. And hey, before you go, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so now so that I can see you next time. Until then, shine on.